Hello, everyone. So as you pop on, let me know if you can hear me. For some reason, I'm never sure if I have my volume correct or not. So welcome, welcome. I am Terry Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards. I'm glad you're here. And if you see the live up in the corner, then you know that you're watching this live. And I'm coming to you from Iowa. I'm a independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Iowa. And today is Tuesday, October the 25th at 1 p.m. Central. And if you're in a different time zone, it's, of course, definitely a different time for you. So today, hi, Judy. Good to see you. Yes, it is a little chilly in Iowa. Let me know if you can hear me, please. And hello, Mary Lynn. Hello, Maria. Good to see all of you. Well, today I have a free online card class, and you might be asking, well, how is that different than my regular lives that I do on Tuesdays at this time? But this is my October card class, and I will be making 3 cards, and you can get the card kit for free by placing a qualifying order with me. So if you place a $35 order before tax and shipping, I will send you a card kit with all the cardstock, die cutouts, and what you need to make these 3 cards. And also, I'll be sending you enough supplies for 6 cards because I'll send 2 of each of the 3 designs that I'm going to make today. And if you place a $50 order with me before tax and shipping, then I also will add a small gift along with the card kit, and that is these Red Rhinestone Jewels. Well, you'll get a full package, and these are in the annual catalog. And thank you, Judy, for letting me know that you can hear me. So we are going to turn the camera down. I just have one thing to talk to you about when I turn the camera down. And then we will start stamping. And I have not used, let's see, so I need to find the button to turn the camera down. I think I found it. So we'll get some lights on and we will get started. And I'll move this out of the way so I can see your chats. Okay. Well, one thing I wanted to tell you about before we start stamping, and that is I am part of the online crafting trio, and I've paired up with Connie Douglas from Great Stamping with Connie, who lives in Canada, and a demonstrator who lives in Australia, Sarah Boland from Handmade After Dark, and myself, Rustic Barn Cards. And each week we are sending a project, a video, a written tutorial to you by email. Now, this week is week 6, so we're halfway through the 12 weeks of Christmas, but you still have time to sign up. So in the description below, you will see a form to click on to sign up for my newsletter so you can receive the 12 weeks of Christmas. And I have the links for all the other videos, so you'll get those also. So just wanted to share that. So it's free. You just sign up to my newsletter, and every week in your inbox, you will receive a video and a written tutorial of a project. Okay, well, today we are, hi, Connie, good to see you. We are going to use a stamp set from our mini catalog. On page 39 is the Trees for Sale stamp set. And it has So Very Merry, Christmas Greetings, You Light Up the Season, the 3 sentiments, and then it has different types of trees. And I just love this cute little dog. It just looks like a really happy dog to me. And you have some dots, snowflakes, and little paw prints. And then you have a little stand. Now this stand can be used for, like this tree here has a little place where you could set it right there on the stand, but you could also use it for trees for sale if you wanted to. So lots of different options. And then we have this pole over here, and we have a string of lights. Now this stamp set is a standalone, although during celebration, it did have tree lot dies that went with it. But you cannot purchase the dies that go with it right now. But in your card, I have used some dies, and you'll get those die cuts. But actually, all of the images that you need to cut out for these cards are really easy to do with scissors also. But I will send you the die cuts. So this is the stamp set. And on this week, I posted this card here. This is not one of the cards we're going to make today, but I posted this today. You light up the season, just to give you a little more inspiration. And I used the string of lights. I just colored them with blends, but I think you could definitely add some embellishments on there to make those lights pop out. And then yesterday I posted this, So Very Merry, and I did a little different colors, polished pink, basic gray. And I added 2 of the happy little dogs. And here I used the stand for trees for sale rather than a stand for one of the trees. Okay, well, let's get started. Well, thank you, Connie. I'm glad you liked the card with the polished pink and the gray, kind of different colors. But I know here at Christmas we have our traditional red and green, but there's also lots of other colors. Let's get started with our online class. So the first card that we're going to make is this right here. So this is the first of the 3 cards of my online card class. So Christmas greetings, trees for sale. And then you'll have a packet like this if you place an order with me and get the free card kit. And you'll also receive an envelope. You'll get envelopes. You'll get a die cut for the dog and for the sign. You'll have a strip of basic white for the sentiment. And this has 2 basic white layers, and we're going to stamp on the smaller one. Just make sure that double check that the one side is, this side here is longer, so you want to make sure that the shorter side's at the top there when you do your stamping. And we'll lay this aside. And then you're going to have pumpkin pie layer. And yours will be embossed. It's embossed with a wintry 3D embossing, and that has 2 embossing folders. And I've used the snowflakes. The other one is like pine branches on it. And then I'm using a strip of Gingham Cottage designer series paper, and this is in the mini catalog. And of course, you can use whichever side that you want. So this is everything that you're going to get in your card kit. Okay, I'm going to lay those aside because we're going to start with our stamping. So I'm using several colors today. We're going to go ahead and start with Old Olive, and we're going to stamp our trees. Well, that's true. And now that it's fall, we do have a lot of different colors in the trees, don't we? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and ink up our tree with Old Olive. And I'm going to make sure that I have this going the right way because I could see me doing it the wrong way. All right, and I'm just going to stamp These are photopolymer, but I'm not going to go ahead. I could get out my Stampin' Pierce mat. Then I'm going to stamp this one off and put it just a little bit higher. I'm going to bring this down just a little bit. And then I'm going to stamp one over here on the side. And that is all of the old olive that we need. So I'll put that away. And then we are going to bring in our basic gray and add some snowflakes. And I am definitely going to stamp off each time. So I'm going to stamp off. I meant to grab a smaller grid paper to stamp off, but that's okay. We'll just make my grid paper a little messy. So we'll stamp with the ink, then we're stamping off, and then we're stamping on the card. I'm going to bring some down here. I don't want to get too many, but maybe right in here, and I think we'll call it good. Okay, and then while I have my ink out, I'm going to lay this aside. I'm going to go ahead and stamp in basic gray. I'm going to stamp Christmas greetings. And then we're finished with the gray, the basic gray. Lay that aside. And let's bring in our little dog, and we're going to use crumb cake. And here's the little dog. And I'll ink that up. And then because they're photopolymer, you can just look right through there. And I'm going to try to concentrate on the legs. That's how I'm going to try to line it up. And there we go. And I'm going to clean that stamp because I will definitely be using the little dog on some of the other cards that we make today. And I'm going to bring in pumpkin pie. And we are going to stamp trees for sale. And again, I'm going to just make sure that I'm where you can see me. And then just flick that off. So see, that's fairly easy. So you'll have the die cuts in your card kit. And then I'm going to grab some scissors, and I'm just going to cut around my sentiment. Now you don't have, you could do, you could just cut this with your trimmer, but I am just going to do it like that. Get rid of these. And I think we are almost ready to put our card together. Let's go ahead and decide where our little paw prints are going to be. So if we put our little dog here, we could just add some paw prints right here. We want this. So I'm going to bring in the paw prints. and bring our crumb cake back in. And on the paw prints, there's some larger paw prints, and then it just gets down to a little bit, a little bit less. So I'm going to turn it this way so I have bigger ones here, and then but it doesn't really matter, I don't think. So I'm going to kind of line it up to kind of show where he's come from. So it looks like he's come here, and there he is. Now we can put our card together. So let me bring in our card base. And I'm going to go ahead and fold that in half. Get our bone folder. And I'm going to bring in our silicone craft sheet. And then I'm going to line this up, our designer series paper. I'm going to make it not exactly in the center. I'm going to have more up above. Now you could line it up any way that you would like. You might want yours in the center, but I'm going to put it about 2/3 of the way down. So I'm going to add some adhesive. And line it up the best I can, hopefully straight. And then I'm going to add this to our card base. And you can use either side of this embossing cardstock. You might, so that, there's two sides to, just like designer series paper, there's two sides to our embossing folder. So there isn't any wrong or right side after you emboss. It's just whichever side that you like the best. And then I don't lose my pieces. Then we're going to go ahead and add this stamped image that we did to our basic white layer. That's just a 1/4 of an inch larger. Trying to get it lined up here straight. And then I'm going to pop this up with dimensionals. And I'll try not to get too carried away, as I do sometimes with my dimensionals, right? If you've watched me. So we'll just do 5, 1 in each corner and 1 in the middle. You are right, Marilyn. Sometimes the embossed side does look better. I agree. That's why I say, I always look at both sides and then decide which side I want. So that is true. Okay, now I do kind of want this to have the same amount of pumpkin pie cardstock showing on each side, and I want my layer to be even. Okay, let's go ahead and pop up our sentiment. I could probably get by with just putting 2, 1 in each end, but I really like to put 1 in the middle because that way it doesn't sag. And then we'll just pop that up about right up here. And put dimensionals on trees for sale. And we'll put that right here. And then I think for the dog, we're going to use mini dimensionals. And I'm just going to put just a couple like that Take the backing off. And then we're going to put him right here. So he's running through the trees for sale. Now, I'm not going to use any embellishment on this card, but you most certainly could. You know, I just didn't think with the, I'm using the red rhinestones on both of the other cards, but just because of the pumpkin pie, I decided not to add any embellishment, or not the red rhinestones, but you could definitely add whatever embellishment that you wanted to this card. So here is our first card. And here's our second card. You light up the season. So let me bring in our pieces for this. And yes, I will send you not only the die cuts, but also I will send you about 9.5 inches of ribbon so you can make a bow. So that will come with your card, class, just a piece of the real red ribbon. So, and you'll get a circle from the Stylish Shapes die cut out. Another little dog. I told you, I think that dog is just so cute. You have a piece of basic white for your sentiment. Another embossed folder using that wintry 3D, and shaded spruce cardstock. And these two are going to layer on top of each other. So let's just do that right now before we start our stamping. So I'm going to layer the embossed. Before I do that, I do want to show you the wintry 3D is for the, it can fit in the mini as well as your larger cut and emboss. But it was, so it did emboss the entire layer. So if you notice down at the bottom, there's a little bit that is not embossed. So I want to make sure that I have that at the bottom. That's going to be at the bottom of my card when I put it on my, when I attach it to my card base. Okay, give it the one eyeball before I put any pressure down on it. Okay, let's lay this aside right now, and let's go ahead and do our stamping. Now I'm going to bring in some little sticky notes. You don't have to. I'm going to try not to stamp the tree over on the edge. This has a little trim on it, but you know, it might be just fine. First, though, I'm going to add the lights. So I have the stamp ready to go, and I'm going to grab the basic gray. And we'll just ink about 3/4 of this because I know I don't need all of it. And then I'm going to try to get at least 4 of the lights. And this I'm not going to worry about if I go over, you know, over into the edge. Okay. And I think I'm finished with the basic gray. So we'll move that out of the way. And let's go ahead and bring in our tree. This is the tree that we're going to use. But I do need to add our sentiment, you light up my life. And I'm going to go ahead and lay that there. And we're going to pick that up. Make sure I get it straight. With my block. Okay. So I'm going to stamp the trees in shaded spruce. And I'm just going to cover up that trim is all I'm doing. So let me bring in the shaded spruce. I never thought of that. That's true, Maryland. That little seeing that little paw prints and the little dog for um, Rainbow Bridge for a sympathy card. That's a really good idea. Okay, we'll ink up our tree. So I'm using a different tree for this one. And my sticky notes don't seem to want to stick on my card because more of the sticky notes is away from it. So then I'm going to just make sure, and I'm just going to go ahead and well, that didn't exactly turn out like I wanted, but we'll see if we can get this covered up because so I'm going to put this tree a little bit closer than I had planned just because I want to I'm going to go ahead and go off and then see if I can go on. So I'm going to do it just a little bit. I'm going to cover up these. Got a little smudge there where I didn't want to. And then we will bring that down and place that right there. And then I'll hang on. So the trick is to hang on to your circle when you lift your stamp up. But I think it'll work out just fine. Let me get rid of the sticky notes. And let's go ahead and stamp in real red. You light up the season. And let's go ahead and bring in the little dog die cut and our crumb cake. Now you wouldn't have to use crumb cake. You could use early espresso. You could even make it a two-toned if you wanted to. And now we'll see if we can get this lined up. Flick it off. There we go. I agree, Maria. Maria said the stamp set is so cute. I think it's really cute too. I really had a lot of fun with it. And once again, I am going to just cut around the sentiment. Now you could use, if you have a label, you could use a label. You could use your trimmer, or you can do like I'm doing and just cut around it. And here we go. You light up the season. And I think we are ready to put our card together. So bring in our card base. We'll go ahead and I already have it scored. Yours will be scored in your card kit too. Use the bone folder. And this is the basic white that's embossed with the shaded spruce. So we'll just add some adhesive and then we'll pop it up on our card base, making sure that the piece that is not embossed is going to be at the bottom of our card base. Because we're going to cover that with our sentiment and you won't even really notice whether it's not embossed all the way. And then we're going to pop this up right over here with some dimensionals. The backing's off. We will be using the red embellishments on this card. So I'm going to put this kind of like at the top and at the edge there. Try to get it. I want the basic white. Right at the edge of the basic white. And then we'll place the You Light Up the Season down here at the bottom. And we're going to pop that up. Then I have one more card that's a little bit different. Hi, Regina. Good to see you. You're working today. Probably shouldn't be reading the chats and trying to put the dimensionals on. So there we go. So we'll pop that right here. And again, I'm going to try that again because that one dimensional that I moved was stuck on my hand. So we need to, there we go. So we'll add two little mini dimensionals to that cute little dog. Looks like a happy dog to me. I guess we'll leave the dimensional there right now because it doesn't want to. And then we'll pop this little dog up right here. And then you have your ribbon to make your bow. But to save time, I went ahead and already made a bow. So I am going to grab some glue dots that seem to have left me. Sorry about that. I found the glue dots that were hiding. Actually, they were exactly where I left them. How about that? And then we're going to just pop that up about right here. And you could also add another glue dot under each of those little bows there if you wanted to. And then we are going to bring in our embellishments. And we're going to pop those up on those lights. So what do you think? Do you like the card? You Light Up the Season. I made this card a little bit different, but I like with I did basic white and then shaded spruce, but I end up liking this one the best. So even though I know it has a lot of white, but then that just makes those trees pop and those red rhinestones. So I hope you like this card, and let's make our third card. So you're ready for the third card. Thanks, Maria. I'm glad that you liked the card. So here is our third card that we're going to make, and I used black, white, and real red for this card, and then I popped up the tree in real red. So in your card kit, you will have the basic black card base. You have an envelope for each of your cards. And then we'll get the pieces out. And on this card, you'll have a die cut for the tree, basic white layer, and another piece of the designer series paper from that Gingham Cottage that's in the mini catalog. So I am going to go ahead and And again, you can decide which side. You have two sides, but I'm going to use the larger this time. And I'm just going to add some adhesive. And put this on our card base. Get it lined up. And then we're going to go ahead and do some stamping. Let's go ahead and do our tree first. Real red. So here is our tree. Is the little, kind of the fattest one that's in there. It's in our stamp set. And we'll try to line it up the best we can. Flick it off. There we go. Now you can most certainly also stamp, and this is really fairly easy to cut out. Okay, so it's and we are going to stamp our greeting, Christmas greetings. And I use that block for the other sentiment, so I'm going to go ahead and put this back on. And we are just going to stamp Christmas greetings right on our basic white layer. So just up in the left-hand corner. And then we shouldn't need the real red ink, but we are going to come in with our Memento Tuxedo black ink. And then our tree, and I need to clean that. Well, Connie, I'm glad that you like the black and white and then a pop of color, because that is exactly what we're kind of doing today, isn't it? For this card. So I'm going to go ahead and ink up the black, and then I am going to stamp it just right over here on the left. Then I'm going to ink it up again. This time I'm going to stamp off. I'm going to ink it up again. I didn't get a real good. Now let me stamp off. There we go. And then I am just going to kind of go like right beside, but I'm going to raise it up a little bit. And stamp. And then we wouldn't have to add another, we can just take our real red and pop it up right here. But I kind of like to go ahead and stamp it just because then I can just kind of cover it up. Because I have a tree there, then I know where I want to stamp my other one. If that makes sense. And then I'm going to bring this up a little bit. And then I'm going to ink it up again. I'm going to stamp off. Try that again. There we go. And then I am going to just stamp a partial tree there. So you can, it looks like the trees are just continuing on. Okay. Let's put this card together. So this is a fairly quick and easy card. And we already have we added our designer series paper. So we're just going to fold and crease with our bone folder. And we are going to pop this layer up with the dimensionals though. So we are going to now you might want to put one in each corner there if you want to, or you can just do the 5 like I have, but you can also add in between. Now, I will not be sending any dimensionals to you, so you'll need your own adhesive, your own glue dots, and your own dimensionals. But I will send in the card kit. If you place an order with me to get the card kit, you will have all of the pieces that I showed you today. That was in the envelope, all the die cuts and the ribbon for the 1 card, and all the die cuts. And I will not be sending any of the embellishments. Okay, so you will get the ribbon, but I won't be sending any embellishments unless you place a $50 order or more, and then you will receive a package of the red basic rhinestones. So I've just added 3 dimensionals to the back of our tree. And then we're just going to pop that right over a little. And I have ink on my hands, so be careful you don't. And let's go ahead and bring in our embellishments. And we will put, you know, you could put them on top of the tree. What do you think? Should I put them on top of these 3 trees, the red embellishments, or should I just put them somewhere else on the card? So let me know what you think I should do while I clean this stamp. But Jean Ann, I'm glad you like this card. So should I put the real red and 3 embellishments on the top of all the black trees? Or should I just put them somewhere else on the card? What do you think? So Maria, you agree with Connie, you like that pop of color. Well, I'm glad. This was the one I wasn't sure about when I made it. I'm like, oh, it's a little bit different, but I'm sure glad that you like it. That's true, Judy. Ink in my hands means we are crafting, doesn't it? So Connie, you think random placement? Well, I don't hear any other votes, so we will go with random placements. Okay, we'll just put one here. Oh. So let me bring in, this is our 3rd card. This is the 2nd card that we made, yes. And this is the 1st card. So Christmas greetings. You light up the season, and so I use that cute little dog on 2 of the cards. And do you have a favorite? I hope you like the cards. Remember, you can place the 35 minimum order before shipping and handling, and you will receive a card kit to make all 3 cards. You'll get 2 of each of the designs, so you'll have enough to make 6 cards. And if you place a $50 order or more, you will receive a full pack of the Red Rhinestone Jewels. So Maria, I'm glad you think the random was correct to do also. Well, Regina Ann, you can always go back and look at that 1st card then for later. And so Maria, you like your partial to pumpkin pie. Yeah, orange, you know, orange I think is a happy color. So you like that one the best. Well, again, as I said, don't forget, if you want today's card kit, and I don't think I said the time limit, so you can place an order through midnight of October 28th. So that is Friday. So today, so ordering now through midnight on Friday, then I will cut the cardstock and everything, and it'll be mailed out the week of November 1st, which is actually next week. Can you believe that? This month has just flown by, hasn't it? My shop link is in the description below. And if you like this video, somewhere on there, there's a thumbs up or a like button. That really helps me to grow my channel and to get it out for people to see. So I'd appreciate that if you would do that. I hope you like the cards. If you want to be part of the 12 weeks of Christmas, if you haven't already signed up for my newsletter, don't forget to do that, and it's in the description below. Thanks for watching. I'll be back next Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central live, so hope to see you then. I'm Terry Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards. I appreciate you being here, and have a wonderful week. Bye for now.